Ah, good morning. My name is Tumi Tladi, coming through on Tuesday, the 15th of June 2021. Time is 24 minutes before 11 a.m. So this is going to be video number 13, and where it's the last video for this series called Solution Explorer. So why the series Solution Explorer? So I put together this incredible system because of multiple projects, multiple platforms, multiple apps, but to explain what each project does and then probably take a sneak peek into the structure of each project, like folders, files, what to expect. So please, if this content is what you're looking for, or you can learn a lot from this content, please consider liking right now, because I promise you raw material where there are gonna be issues live, and I'm gonna tell you about those issues, where I'm gonna tell you what to do, what not to do. You're gonna hear a little bit of aggressiveness that comes out of me because we learn. I'm a genius now, because I learned a lot. And then I have the next new exciting project. Speaking of the new exciting project, this allows me an opportunity to talk about the next new project after identical dogs. Okay, Edward McFlurry. So why am I talking about my next new project? Because I need to be able to identify the mistakes and certain things that I'm lazy or have been lazy, when it comes to fixing, and that's a problem. Okay, so if I go to repositories level 27, there's a new one. It's a new project. I'm not gonna tell you what it does. It's a money making type of a system. It's gonna make money for me. It's called C versus C system. You see, I did yesterday. I only created a project, but that's how I move. I move quick. I build systems. So I'm gonna build this system, learning out of this system that I'm busy with, identical dogs. So please pay attention. I provide good content, good stuff. Right. Video number 12, this is the one. I'm gonna do the last video number 13, where this is an actual WPF. I need to create a class library, to separate the logic from like the UI from the business logic. Yes. Yeah, cool. Now let's get down to business. So why WPF? It's because if the mobile application is working, I was thinking of the people that are sitting in the offices. I'm like, they're using computers, like I'm sitting in front of my computer. Why not their desktop application? So it was a fun thing for me to change myself. I knew why. If I jump into the NetCall, I was gonna bump into some issues. So I knew those kind of issues, but I still decided to go with .NetCall, right? Secondly, I'm aware that the things I've used in Xamarin might not be compatible in WPF, but also targeting .NET 5.0, which is on NetCall. Okay, cool. So there isn't much here. It's just I try to replicate what's in shared code, shared project, the views. But I'm not done. This project is not complete, but I'll try to run something here. We'll try to do a live demo, and then the views and the view models. And I did explain why I had to bring in the view models in here, and the utilities, I explained why. So let's start with the most basic class, dependencies. Analyzers, what do? I don't know. Frameworks, .NET Core, like we know, targeting Windows desktop. Packages, at least I brought some of the packages, but I did something rather interesting. Okay. ACR user dialogues, Microsoft App Center Analytics and crashes, and then Xamarin Essentials. These are packages from Xamarin, but for some reason I don't know if they're compatible with WPF. I don't know, especially Xamarin Essentials. It might not be compatible, but it worked. It allowed itself to go through into this project. So I still need to investigate, but we'll do a little bit of a demo. We still have time. Okay, so, and then the project, you see it's referencing this library for WPF. Cool, now we're done with the dependencies. Assembly info. What? Okay. Yeah, no, you can do the themes and stuff, Yeah, no, cool. And then app.xml, the start point or entry of the application. Okay, this is what initialize which okay, in Xamarin they're called pages. in WPF they're called windows. So app.xml, what initialized the window, like which window should be the first one. At least I know a couple of things. Well, I'm still trying to remember. Okay, so in this content, you can only expect the rawness out of me. I don't do the style of other people from YouTube. I do my own stuff, and it's okay if you don't like the content, but a lot of people just know I have a huge fan base. A lot of people enjoy my content, you know. Yes, even the professionals, you know, because like I said, anybody that has an idea, like I just have a new exciting system I want to build, C versus C. You know, there's going to be database, there's going to be web application for portal, you know, I need certain people to log in to check the portal what's happening. There's going to be mobile application, you know, so it's a system. So I'm going to build it slow. I know the concept. It's the idea is feeling you. From last week Tuesday, I was at CUT, you know, doing the practicals, helping the students out in one of the labs, and then it just like blew my mind. I was talking to this one particular guy. I'm like, no, I need to go after this. So yeah, the only thing that you should know about what's happening in this file, XML, it's startup URI, which is go to views, you find main view model. We'll try to run this. Okay, what about code behind? What to expect in there? Nothing. Yeah, nothing. But that's why I'm going to initialize certain things like I did with Xamarin on this file. I initialized so many things. One of the critical things is this app ID, like having to generate app ID. You know, I still need to figure out the shared preference in WPF world. So I'm excited about the challenge. You know, what should happen when the application starts. This is where I initialize stuff for App Center, you know, for analytics and crashes. And then this is where I figure out if we need to go to terms of service page first or set up a page first. This is why I keep the device alive, blah, 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 blah. This I initialize Sync Fusion license. Okay, now you understand. So I still have a long way to go, you know. Cool. Now we are done. Okay, so utilities. Why this folder help us? So commands. So unfortunately in Xamarin, let me go to one of the view models. Stop. Screen view model. I just need the command. This command, it comes from Xamarin.forms, and then it's not compatible in WPF. So I've worked with commands like what happens when you click a button in WPF. So I'm used to them and they're asynchronous. So I'm like, no, let's use what I'm used to, you know. So that's why we have utilities, helpers, specifically commands. So commands they handle, you see, they handle what happens when you click the button. You know, they inherit from iCommand. Okay, and then these ones also they inherit, I think, from iCommand. I'm not sure. Let's see. The one in Xamarin.forms. If I'm moving too fast, please go back and rewatch the video. But I'll try to be slow. I don't want to keep you long. Some of the videos are long, but not because I intentionally want them to be long, but because there are so many moving pieces that when I try to cover. Aha, I told you, it inherits from iCommand, and then this is from namespace Xamarin.forms. See, good. And then this one also inherits from iCommand, you know. So this is what happens when you click the button and all that. And there's asynchronous version of it, you know. Yeah, okay, cool. Now you understand what's happening in utilities. Let's move on. Version updates. What did I do this year? 2 months. I started in March when I introduced the version updates. Okay, when I moved the main window to the views folder, you see, it's an action. You need a specific commit for that, because when you move something like this, you need to change the namespaces. You do know that, right? You change the namespaces, you change certain things. You don't just move stuff, because so many things are being affected. There's a version control stuff. The goodness of version control, please be on the lookout for the series. I'm going to be warning you most of the time, but giving you the tips what to do, what not to do. Okay. And then updated the startup URI on the app, you know, added the client window, you know, I did certain things. Okay, and then in April, and then wired up everything just to get the main functionality to work. Although I comment out most of the code, we'll see what works. We'll try to do a demo. Okay, that's the version updates. Like I said, every project has a version update for me to know exactly what I did. Now, view models. Obviously, I need my base view model. This is where a lot of trade-offs now took place. Although, funny enough, there is this package, Xamarin Essential, but it could not be picked up in WPF. So that means this package is practically useless. Literally useless. Okay. Cool, but so many things I got them working, but not almost everything because of different packages, and most of them are coming from that single namespace or package Xamarin Essential. So there's too many trade-offs I'm aware of. That's why I had to comment out certain things, get what works, but identify property change works, okay, so now you understand. Okay, and then startups client view model. Okay, at least do the validators work? Yes, because it's a fluent validation, right? Yes, fluent validation, it works. So I was able to get the validators to work, validating the business number. Yes, that's what I do. So, but what cannot work, no, but something's not right there. Even if I got this guy, but if it's not being initialized, then that means it's not working. Having to claim my validation 1 and 2, they're not working. What's happening here? Validate all, because I'm actually validating, so if it's not going to work, then I need to comment out the method call. And then analytics, so also this package, it's rendered literally useless. This one of App Center analytics and App Center crashes. They're rendered useless because if I did comment out, that means it's not going to work. And I can prove that right now. If I do this, it's going to tell me that, hey, we don't know this. So let's give it a second. Well, do you know that? Are you serious? Can it work? Is it possible this thing can work? Even if it's gonna work, remember I still need to initialize the what we did with the IDs for this project, on the application startup. So we still need to say, okay, they do support UWP, Android, RS. The question is, do they support WPF? See, that's where the issue is. I'm not really concerned about these, the sensitivity of this stuff. I'm not concerned about them. Let me tell you right now, you don't have access to my App Center portal. I'm done. So even if this guy works, but will the functionality actually work? So that's why it remains commented out. Okay, so there's too many trade-offs, but there's some things I've tested that I believe works. We'll do a live demo in a few minutes. Yeah, I'm doing authenticate, but if most of this is not, but this is validation stuff. But does it work? We'll find out in a second. You see, instead of the way I navigate, yes, the way I navigate to a voice message page is not working because this is Xamarin stuff, but I know how to navigate in WPF, just that I haven't gotten yet to this portion. And then when it comes to user dialogues, I cannot use the alerts because they're not compatible. So I'm using message box, the standard message box, to show the message. But we'll see that I cannot get this to vibrate because it's not a mobile application, it's a desktop application, so it cannot vibrate. And there are certain things that still works. So the crashes, I cannot track the crashes when the app crashes. The base indicator won't work, but although the code is there, but it won't work. So I hope this makes sense. Like I said, I'm gonna do a test now. General feedback. Can you write a feedback? Yes, we need to test a feedback. It should work. I'm not gonna be able to, you see, from shared preferences, I cannot get access to preferences variables. But okay, this one's anonymous. Okay, it's the same thing. I'm just saying by default it should be anonymous. But yeah, this one works. I believe it works. Yeah. Okay, those buttons, I command. This is how I use the relay command async. Those help us that I spoke about earlier on. To get it. But we're gonna do a test right now. The rest of the stuff are not gonna work. Like I said, I'm not trying to get. I'll try to get in to be specific. How did I comment? What's happening? We'll do a live demo. But now it's just a high-level overview of the project structure, what to expect, what's happening here. Okay, so we're done with the views. Lastly, the actual windows. So I'm adopting the pattern of MVVM, where I have views for view models for VM, and models are in their project models, and then these are the services. Okay, cool. So lastly, the views I have that I got to get them to work both client window and then feedback. And I don't know about this one because it doesn't have a corresponding view model, correct? Settings, oh, it does. Okay, so how about we do a test drive, shall we? Let's do so. Let me close all these guys. Oh, it's already been set up as a startup, and then I'm gonna just fire, and then we need to get our friends ready. Okay, so I'm gonna log in identical docs.co.za, a normal website. This side I'm gonna log in for the administrative purposes. It's .NET Core, identical docs.co.za, hey.za. Okay, cool. So we're about to do something rather interesting. And then on this channel, I don't test things before I record. I test things live so you can see the actual issues. And don't you think for a second that these systems are perfect, all of them, except for Microsoft, but they're geniuses. But for the mere fact that some of the things are still failing, it shows that, yeah, we are humans. But what's the point? The point is I want to show you that I am still learning. I did my best, you know. No one taught me. CUT did not contribute nothing. Although certain things I did in iNotify, please check it out. It's video number 0, iNotify. It was our CUT third year IT project for Will, you know. So we learned certain things there, or should I say I implement certain things while learning that I brought in identical docs. Okay, why are you taking this long? What's happening? Okay, so I'm gonna log in as a client. Is the app running? Is it coming? So I'm gonna log in as a client because we're gonna do an access pin type of a thing. And then this I'm gonna log in as administrator. Please pay attention. And then if you have any questions, please write in the comment down below. So test one, we know we have been using this account and other accounts I'm gonna use in future. So let's see, are we authenticated? Are we gonna be authenticated, you know? And then can we get proper author? Oh, we are good to go. Perfect. You have successfully logged in. Thank you. Now, as administrator, I still have the major bug I will need to fix as administrator. I cannot log in using this, but it's funny. But I think I have an idea what causes it. So this side, let's go in as administrator. While we are waiting for the WPF to come, because I did say fire, yes, it's still coming. Let's give it a second. Okay, and then there's something that's very big that I forgot to mention in the previous video. This guy, and then because this guy is going to serve a purpose, you know, several purposes for this guy. This desktop app that's about to launch, it's making use of Web API, the same Web API that is Xamarin Forms app right now it's making use of. This is integrated system. I did not do anything to this project. If you look at my comments, this is why I'm saying if I do right click, but let's wait for it. It's coming. I'm gonna show you something that when I develop either this project or this project, I do not tamper with this project because you can tamper with the multiple projects in single commit. You can, but those are the goodness of version control system. Please wait for it. It's coming soon. Okay, it should come. It said those succeeded. Nevertheless, let's log in. This is my super secret password. You don't want to get it, your hands dirty on it. Okay, I'm waiting for that so that this demo can be a completed thing. Okay, we authenticate as administrator because I want to show you something. That feedback, we actually want to see it. Wait. Okay, so this is main. Okay, now let's go and change the startup URI. Remember the startup URI? Yes. So we need to go to, because I have to do this manually because remember I haven't designed the actual startup and all that, but I'm testing one thing at a time. So let's go client window. So we need to go into views. Wait. Windows. And then inside the windows we need startups. Yes. Okay, let me get this one out of the way before it confuses me. So views, windows, startups, and then client window. client window. Perfect. There you run. I didn't do any UI. You don't start with the UI. We don't care about UI. Let me tell you again. We don't care about the UI. We care about the code. Can it be maintained? Can it be readable? Is it clean? Or should I say, is it well organized? Do you have comments? Do you know what you did? Or do you take shortcuts? Are you gonna be a pain when I have to maintain your system? Or are you gonna make my life easy? We don't care about the UI. The functionality is what we care about. Anybody can design a UI. Even a 5-month or 5-year-old kid can design a UI. That was a joke. But let's wait. So in the meantime, we're gonna go to this one. We're gonna go to access pin. We're about to generate access pin. Let's give it a second. Okay. Currently says warning. There's no active access pin, therefore you need to generate one for use on the Identical Docs app. Now I need to change this to say Identical Docs app and desktop app. Okay, currently just mentioned the mobile app. So I say you need to generate that below to authenticate yourself in order to listen or leave the customer voice note. So the scenario is that you have the customer or visitor coming to your internet cafe. They requested to make you do not have them coming. They bump into my app. They send through the document they would like you to make a copy of or make a print out. So you've been sitting with that, and I know it's one of the things that many people I spoke to, they said they are worried about it, but I have countermeasures in place. But say that person is delayed and then they said they're coming when they knock off from work, they came in at lunch or they sent a request at lunch and then they're about to stop by when they knock off, and you can use this to leave them a voice message. So we're gonna do, and I know there's a bug, I identified a bug the other day. So let's use Max IAT. I have a friend, Sandile Services, it's a friend of mine. So you need this 3B4W. Let me move this out of the way. Look at that, I told you. Okay, so let's do that. It's 3B4W. I'm doing this intentionally to show that it's case insensitive. Okay, but I need to cut this to show a little bit of validation in place. If I click authenticate, what does it do? There we go. It says the authentication failed, incorrect business number or access PIN. This is how the mobile application works. Okay, cool. But I'll do proper validations now. So test one manages multiple businesses, internet cafes. So these are all of them, but these are demos currently. So you just need to click generate. That's it. There's an error message. Oh, so there is a bug. See, I told you. But if I go back, why was there an error message? Let's try the same thing again. Generate. I don't do this before, I do them afterwards. Yes, there is a bug, and I think I know why the first time it will do that. So I need to find a way, but I don't know. But I'll, yes. Okay, but the point is, succeeded. You have generated access pin, here's your access pin, but I also show it that this is what you need to enter on the mobile application, now on the desktop in this case. This is a unique access pin. Now, I'll talk about why this feature, and I love what I did. Okay, you can generate another one. And if you try to generate the same one, let's try. I have contingency plan or a way to defend myself to say, there's already an active access pin, therefore you cannot generate access pin for Sandile Services demo blah blah blah, and it will show the same one. Okay, so we need this guy. Let's do this. Before we do that, let me go to task as administrator. Do we have access to pins? Like, we manage the entire system, right? Can we show the goodness? This is .NET Core, by the way. A big shout out to myself. This is .NET Core. This is .NET framework, but this is .NET Core with one database in production. Access pins. Let's see if one was generated just now. or if 2, or maybe that one, the error one, you know, it managed to generate, I don't know. Let's give it a second. There we go, it's spinning. Okay, today it's there we go. Today being 15th of June 2021, time 10:59. Now it's 11:01, you know. And then for this business, you know, I still need to substitute this to be what's the name of the business. And then this is the access pin. I can click on that to see more information. How cool is that? There we go. I can edit, I can do something, I can take this record because I'm an administrator. Okay, cool. Oh, by the way, but I'll talk about this later on. It's not relevant right now. Let's go back. So what happens when we click authenticate? Everything went well so far, that means success. And now it's authenticated. If I remove that G and have T, it's gonna fail. But if I go back to that G, what about the lower G? It should work. Because it's case insensitive, then you'll be authenticated, and I proved it. Lastly, let's write a feedback, because you say that not, you know. Let's go to feedbacks. General. So we want to substitute this guy to say we need general, and then we need to go to feedback folder, and then we just need to write feedback window. Write feedback window. So let's see if it's gonna work. So this is the last thing. It's a live demo, because the point really to emphasize is there's a web API that's working. I didn't need to change anything on the web API. I did not do anything of that nature. Every single commit in this project, and this project has nothing to do with web API, just to know the URI or URL of the web API, and we know that. And then I need to show that while this is doing this. So you say success. So let's go back to this class, because it's making use of this class. Let's go to utilities. Yes, web API and web API URL. Did I not show this? Isn't this the same web address? Remember, it's 2-in-1. Okay, so by default you're anonymous. Let me just say YouTube user testing drive this thing. This is gonna be title. I know for sure it's title. This is awesome. It's a title, but it needs to be 15 to 20 characters. I'll tell you why. There's a reason why. And then this is gonna be the message. Damn! I don't know if that's how you write them, but the content on this YouTube is super awesome. No spelling errors, and let's give it 5 out of 5. It's a rating, but on the mobile application it appears nice. And there are validations also, you know. But if I do submit, only administrator can see this. Your feedback, the feedback you wrote was successfully submitted, and then I clear everything. Okay, so let's go and prove that. As administrator, I have access to all the feedbacks, and then I'll be done. Give it a second. If you'd like me to show you something, please use hashtag request on the comment down, and then tell me where you like me to focus and show you what. So feedbacks. It can't lie to me. This is why some of us, we have a datetime object this created on. So let's see, there we go. Title, this is awesome. Message, damn! But the content on this YouTube is super awesome. I gave it 5. It was submitted today, 15 June 2021, 11:04 days time. And then it's not public because I'm an administrator. If I make it show public now, when you have my app, you're gonna see it now. Unfortunately, I can't show because my visor on this computer is not running for some reason, but I'm gonna fix it. And then this is the YouTube user, and I proved it. So it's gonna remain like this because it's internal test. The ones that I clicked it. Okay. The ones that are public is because those are the users that wrote, not me. So there we go. It works because it knows about the models. It knows about the view model. It knows about exactly what's happening in this library, the URL. It knows about this web API route version 1. Let's look for the feedbacks. Feedback stays feedback. It says posted 1 feedback. I can improve this on the view model. It's making use of post 1. It's the same thing for mobile. I just need to change this to say now you are for desktop, but that's how it is. So I hope this was informative for me. It was amazing. So I'm done now with the Solution Explorer. I don't know where I'm gonna move next, but stay tuned. Where I'm gonna talk about how certain small things work. I'm gonna move nuts. The last thing I'm gonna do is to make sure that there are no changes in this branch. So I'm just gonna, you can check the, not history. I can open the changes, not history. I don't care about the history. But I'll teach this how I understand version control works in the context of being a developer, building an actual production system, not dummy stuff. Because honestly, it's tiring to build, my opinion, to build a system that's not gonna be seen or being tested. That's not gonna be found to be buggy while still on version control. But if you are building a production system, yes. So these are changes that we make, and I don't need them. So undo the changes. Be aware before you click yes, but I know what I'm doing. That's why I'm on YouTube branch, and then that's it. Thank you very much. I hope this was informative, and let's wait for it to disappear. Oh no, it disappeared.